Hello, people of California. My name is Alex Tucker, and I analyze conservative and liberal interest groups and their position on marijuana legalization. A linkage institution connects the citizens of the United States to the government, and there are four types of linkage institutions, such as the media, interest groups, political parties, and elections. Tonight, I will focus on interest groups. The role and function of interest groups is so citizens of the United States of America can express their ideas and views to elected officials. I had the opportunity to analyze the campaign for marijuana legalization and their point of view and arguments over marijuana legalization. The political ideology of this source is liberal. I believe this source is liberal because a lot of liberals believe marijuana should be legal. The campaign for marijuana legalization's point of view on marijuana legalization is marijuana should be legalized but also taxed. This source is biased because Rob Campea is one of the founders of the Marijuana Policy Project, causing him to be pro-legalization. The campaign for marijuana legalization claims that the citizens of the United States should be able to have freedom of choice. This means they should be able to choose if they do drugs or not. The campaign for marijuana legalization provides analogies, personal experience, quoted research, and opposing opinions. He uses the prohibition of alcohol to compare to marijuana prohibition. When he was in college at Penn State, he frequently smoked marijuana and then was arrested for 6 months. In Campea's speech, he used research that claims marijuana is safer than alcohol. Finally, he provides that if marijuana was legalized, some groups would be intruded, especially drug dealers. This strengthens their argument because Campea incorporates both sides and begins to include research supporting his argument. I found two logical fallacies in his argument. They were red herring and hasty generalization. Red herring was used when Campea stated police should focus on violent crimes and not on marijuana crimes, which are not perilous. Hasty generalization was used when Campea discussed the difference between the black market and dispensaries. Even though he listed 2 ways people can get marijuana, there are also numerous other ways people can attain it, so that's why I chose that this was hasty generalization. I had the opportunity to analyze Americans for Safe Access and their point of view and arguments over medical marijuana for veterans. The political ideology of this source is liberal. This is because most liberals believe marijuana should be legal. Americans for Safe Access's point of view on medical marijuana for veterans is 22 veterans commit suicide every day, and Patrick Seifert, the author of the source, believes medical marijuana can prevent veteran suicides. This source is biased because Seifert is a veteran who owns a medical marijuana dispensary. Americans for Safe Access claims that THC, the chemical in marijuana, leads to higher survival rates of victims of traumatic brain injury, or TBI. Americans for Safe Access provides statistics, analogies, personal experience, and research. Seifert provides 2 statistics. He talks about how many veterans commit suicide every day and the number of states where marijuana is legal. He uses one analogy comparing the deaths of 2 Americans due to ISIS and veteran suicide. A couple of weeks before the article was written, a veteran reached out to Seifert. The veteran stated that he was going through a hard time and that he wanted help. The article uses research about the correlation between THC and TBI and how marijuana affects anxiety disorders. This strengthens their argument because it shows that Seifert is credible and knows what he is talking about. I found the force and fear logical fallacy in this article. He claims we need to change our thoughts about veteran suicide because when veterans die, they should die of natural causes and not from suicide. I had the opportunity to analyze the letter to Eric Holder and their point of view and arguments over marijuana legalization in Colorado. The political ideology of this source is conservative. I believe this source is conservative because usually people who want marijuana to remain illegal are conservative. The letter to Eric Holder's point of view on marijuana legalization is marijuana should not be legal due to mental illness and the fact that marijuana lowers children's IQ. This source is biased because Patrick Kennedy is a member of Project SAM, or Smart Approaches to Marijuana. The letter to Eric Holder claims that using marijuana can affect people's health. Unfortunately, the letter to Eric Holder does not provide any evidence, which leads me to believe that their argument is not credible. Patrick Kennedy does use a logical fallacy. He uses bandwagon appeal by listing the number of physicians and members of the National Association of Drug Court Professionals who agree with his claim that marijuana should be illegal in Colorado. The interest group that best supports my political values and beliefs is moderate. This is because I believe marijuana should be legalized for adults age 21 and over. I also took the survey we did last month in class, and my result was in the middle of the chart. This translates to the moderate group. I think Barack Obama would best support my political values and beliefs because I agree with most of the ideas he has. Tonight I watched his speech on current immigration laws, and I agreed with his proposed ideas to allow undocumented immigrants who have lived in the United States for more than 5 years to be able to be part of the community without being afraid of deportation. Television and radio are my main media outlets. I can learn about candidates and interest groups so I can make an educated vote in the 2016 election. I think marijuana should be legalized because it will free up jails and will give states money from the taxes collected for marijuana. That's all for tonight. Thanks for watching.